Welcome back to Yang Daily. I apologize that this is coming out a bit late today due to a meeting with a local Yang gang, but I think we managed to catch most or all of the news. Let's get into it. The campaign set out a call for more leaders in Iowa to help organize and mobilize precincts for their caucus to make sure everyone has the support they need to act and actually shows up. Any Yang gang in Iowa, please check the link in the description to sign up to be a captain for your precinct. This is super important. Even people who don't live in Iowa can sign up. Volunteers in Iowa tweeted a survey today for all Yang Gang volunteers to participate in that asks questions about how you're supporting the movement and which of some of the options you think will get more people motivated for phone banking. It only takes about 3 minutes, so please participate in the links below. The campaign has also set a phone banking goal of 800,000 calls by January 24th. We missed our fundraising goal before, and that broke a long record of making every goal for the Yang Gang, so let's reclaim our glory by hitting this one. Yang's 17-day bus tour in Iowa began today. If you missed the town hall announcements in our previous episode, you can still find them in the yang2020.com Mobilize events or in the links below. Yang will also be attending the CNN Democratic Presidential Town Hall on January 28th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, which will be the last big event before voting in Iowa where candidates can get big press coverage. The DNC released the qualifications for the February 7th debate last night. They've held the polling requirements at 5% in 4 nationals or 7% in 2 early states, and still just 225,000 donors, with Iowa polling excluded because there is now a second path to qualification, that path being to earn at least 1 delegate from the Iowa caucuses. Now, I still maintain that it would be better for Yang and better for everyone if he devised a more valuable and appealing forum than the debates and convinced other candidates to join him there, abandoning the DNC's platform, as that would not only generate huge buzz in the media, enthusiasm for Yang, and demonstrate leadership, it would also give voters a better way to make informed decisions. That said, Yang seems set on making future debates, and the provision of earning a delegate should give him easy access, even if he doesn't get the remaining 2 polls that he would otherwise need. It only takes a few enthusiastic caucus goers to swing some of the smaller Iowa districts, and the news from our canvassers in Iowa has been good. In fact, our local Olympia, Washington group just had 2 canvassers return from their week in Iowa. Shout out to Nate and Sarah. Alicia on Twitter linked a video that shows a caucus in action, so check that out if you want to understand what it's like. Evelyn hosted the Women's March in New York City today to a great turnout and gave a moving speech on what UBI could do to empower women, LGBTQ, and others who are marginalized and unsupported in our society, as well as its ability to make an immediate and direct end to poverty. Full video of the event has not yet been released, but will be later today. It was covered by CNN, Now This, and The Hill. In her speech, Evelyn also addressed her recent story of sexual assault, saying, quote, "I had to believe that coming forward would help me reclaim my voice and help others reclaim theirs. Otherwise, we would all just be another statistic in the shadows." End quote. Dana Bash updated that the number of women who have come forward to say they were sexually assaulted by the doctor since Evelyn aired her story yesterday is now up to 15. Moreover, Evelyn's reveal has also prompted CNN and other media to report on how Dr. Hadn got away with a slap on the wrist for his numerous sexual assaults and how he had been shielded by institutions. Andrew also spoke at an Iowa City town hall on how much he appreciates the outpouring of support for his wife on the issue and how glad he is that it's encouraged others to share their own trials. Andrew also spoke to Mara Barrett at NBC News today and told her that the massive backlog of untested rape kits in the US is unconscionable and that he would create a mandate for the federal government to provide all necessary funding and oversight to ensure that every rape kit in the country is processed within a certain time frame. Evelyn's story also got further coverage from many media sources today, including ABC and The Hill. Andrew made an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher last night. Bill was quite complimentary of Yang and particularly liked that Yang doesn't pander to Trump or party identity. Following the airing of the show, #Realtime was trending high on Twitter, and visibility of the show seems to have been quite good, with many people tweeting that it convinced them to vote for Yang. The episode was also reported on by Mediaite. NBC's Julia Jester and Mickey Fauner put out an article today on how Yang is converting burners to his side and opening with a line from Yang back in August of 2018 where he declared himself the younger, fresher, more modern, more Asian version of Bernie, though Yang has stopped comparing himself to Bernie since then. Among others, the article mentions Brandon Laws, an elected Nashua alderman who's been a fan of Sanders for a decade and was among his early local 2020 endorsers back in May, has unendorsed Bernie to endorse Yang. Mr. Laws said, quote, Andrew Yang is talking about things that are existential threats, and that if we don't start addressing them actively with comprehensive solutions, I think it's going to be too late, end quote. I couldn't agree more. While I like Bernie and most of what he's proposing, the thought of any non-Yang Democratic candidate winning scares me almost as much as Trump winning. Why? Because none of them are aware of the state of our economy or what's about to happen, so they're just going to continue the status quo for the most part. And they would be in office for 4 to 8 years, then almost certainly be followed by a Republican president for another 4 to 8, meaning Yang would likely not get another chance for 8 to 16 years. Everyone who's paying attention knows that we're going to be in deep dog-doo by that point, maybe too deep to dig out of. Laws went on to say that Yang is filling the position Bernie held last cycle, that of the underdog, with bold new ideas who is leading the conversation. He hopes Yang will hold strong and win the day, the way he thinks Bernie could have last time. The authors were careful to note that Yang is not pulling support just from Bernie, but from all camps, as voters learn more about Yang and realize he's offering something truly beyond all others. Speaking of the early states, Iowa just got a winter storm warning. My heart goes out to all our canvassers in Iowa, but I have to say I think this could be good for the cause. Bad weather weeds out the undetermined, emboldening the enthusiastic. Don't expect to see any Biden supporters braving a storm for their guy. With all the enthusiasm behind Biden's candidacy, a light sprinkle on caucus night could be all it takes for his campaign to collapse. This is not a problem for the Yang gang, I assure you. All right, on to the day's Yang policy. Education costs are a hot topic, particularly student debt forgiveness, which Yang does support. But today, I want to talk about something the other candidates don't, which is reducing the actual cost of tuition rather than subsidizing it with taxes. Yang has looked to the causes of education cost inflation and determined that federal spending has been used to inflate the ratio of administrators to students drastically since the 70s. Yang would seek to add a condition to public funding of universities and colleges that they must maintain a ratio of 1 administrator to 30 students, where the current average is 1 to 21, eventually reaching for the ratio of 1 to 50 from the 70s. This would lower costs for schools and tuition for students. Today's Yang Dail E10 task is to download and play Samantha Bee's totally unrigged primary app on your phone. For those not in the loop, Sam Bee has made an app where participants can answer questions to earn points for their chosen candidate. Whichever candidate has the most points at the end gets a big pot of money, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, donated to their campaign. Currently, there are only 10 days left. We have been in the lead for months, but Warren is closing the gap. If they overtake us, we lose that money and Warren gains it, a double whammy that we can't afford. Check the links, download the app, use the link cheat sheet to quickly answer all of the questions back to the start of the game, and then grab the phones from your friends and family and do it again. All it takes is making a new login each time with their phone number, which won't be shared, and an email. You can use either theirs or make a junk email with Google. This is a super easy task that could earn the campaign hundreds of thousands of free dollars. Yang Gang, please get it done. And that's our Yang News for today. Sign up to be an Iowa captain, fill out the volunteer survey, and download and play the unrigged primary app on your phone and on others. The momentum is swinging in our favor, Yang Gang. Let's hold strong and bring home the win.